People think that building a career in nursing is straightforward. Get a job, work harder, and make money. But when you start with only $750 in a new country, you learn real fast that aside from surviving, it's believing that you can build something bigger than where you start. Honestly, looking back, I never thought this would be my story, but here we are. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how I did it, starting with less than $1,000 and eventually earning more than 6 figures. But before you think if it happened overnight, of course it did not. Even if my journey was a decade ago, starting only with $27 an hour and didn't expect a heaven load of expenses, that it seems my paycheck disappeared almost as fast as it came. If you're new on this channel, one of my core values was to be as open and transparent as possible regarding everything I learned about growing a nursing career, saving and building wealth, and that includes breaking down salaries, side hustles. So if you're a new nurse and a new immigrant out there, you can really get a good idea of what to expect and what's possible. I'm Robie. I've been a nurse for 30 years. I'm a personal finance advocate, a career strategy coach, and I've mentored 700 plus nurses. How do you actually go from 700K and a suitcase to 100K as a new immigrant nurse? And I quickly learned that 100K on paper and 100K in real life are two very different things. Back then, I was obsessed. I kept asking myself, how do I make 6 figures? How do I make my mom proud, build a life here with no family around, no connections, no safety net, and my 2 little kids depending on me? And by evidence, science confirmed that eldest daughters are ambitious. Me calculating on my head, if I work this many hours only at $27 per hour, with so much expenses to pay, rent, school fees, how much will be left? Honestly, the math never seemed to work. But that ambition, wanting to make it work, that's what pushed me. My very first nursing paycheck in New Jersey was around $2,000 for 2 weeks, $4,300 for a month. It was not life-changing as I thought it would be, but I was grateful and it's real money potential. I remember thinking, this is it. I'm really making it. Making good money. But then reality hit. Taxes took their share and expenses on rent, $1,900, groceries, childcare, gas bills, and suddenly that $4,300 money shrunk down to maybe $200 left to spend and send money home. And since childcare was really so expensive, we decided that my husband will only take part-time job. That's when I realized $27 an hour was not enough to hit 6 figures for the year, and I had to find another way. So I did what many nurses and immigrants do. I hustled. I pick up overtime shift, nights, weekends, holidays, any shift I could pick up. For some months, I worked 60 to 70 hours a week. And if this is resonating with you, I actually made a video called 20 Years in America, What I Wish I Knew Sooner. You might find it helpful. Overtime helped me inch toward that 100K milestone. On paper, it looked amazing. In reality, I was exhausted, especially working the overnight shift. My mind was stretched and my kids were growing fast. And we finally saved at the time a little bit enough to buy a used car, an old car for $500. It was actually a donation car from a friend, but driving that car felt like freedom. If you're new here and you had experienced walking during snow time, it's really tough. But it was also a reminder every milestone came with sacrifice. And if you're like me, an eldest immigrant daughter, you have some kind of financial commitment. I made promise to my mom to provide for her needs, paid for school needs for my brother, and juggled babysitters to make my shift work. Some weeks it felt like I was working just to keep the cycle going. Here's a tough lesson that I learned. Working more hours can get you closer to your goal, but it won't replace a plan. Track your money, track your expenses, budget your money, know exactly where it goes. And then finally, between base pay and all the overtime, I crossed over 100,000 gross income. But here's the thing, 100K in New Jersey doesn't feel like it is. After taxes, childcare, school, rent, and sending money home, it was still tight. Sometimes I kept thinking, I did all that work, I hit the number, and yet I didn't feel rich. Second hard lesson I learned. Earning money is one thing, keeping it is another. You can work yourself to death chasing a number, but unless you manage it, it slips right through your fingers. And here's the surprising part. What really changes everything for me was not only the overtime or grinding harder, it was learning how to budget carefully, stretch every dollar, and this might surprise you, building relationships outside of work. Joining community groups, making friends, those connections gave me advice, opportunities, and support that no paycheck could buy. It's really true that building connections and networking can help you grow both in your career and your earning potential. That's what helped me not just earn six figures, but actually start building a life around it. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe and share so many nurses can see it. It's been quite a long journey. Looking back, it feels surreal that my kids are now professionals, humbled to say, a lawyer and an engineer. So what's the takeaway? If I can start over with $700 and build a life as a new immigrant nurse and make this happen, trust me, you can figure out your path too. Yes, it's possible, but it comes with trade-offs. You'll need discipline, you'll need sacrifice, and you'll need to manage your money just as much as you earn it. If you want to go deeper into work alignment, career, money, and life, I'll share this video over here, the real reason nurses are always hustling. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.